right away. Okay.
Namaste, good afternoon and vanakkam to all of you. The topic that I choose to discuss as part of this wonderful national seminar organized by ICPR, Ministry of Culture, the topic which I have been doing research for some time is the great Hindu-Christian intellectual debate in the 18th and 19th centuries. This is also part of my PhD work, which I have been slowly expanding it. As a student of history, I always admire some of the historians, most notably R.C. Majumdar, E.H. Carr, R.G. Collingwood, for their phenomenal works on history, particularly defining the idea of history. If you go by their definition, history is nothing but a continuous process of discussing ideas, and it is also an unending dialogue between we historians and our facts. And this is also important. As a student of history, I try to learn certain things, because as R.G. Collingwood says, every new generation must ask new questions instead of getting satisfied by answering old questions. So my questions, therefore, in this particular seminar are four. The first one is religious truth universal, or is it always mediated through culture and history? Second is, must religion be judged primarily by its metaphysical doctrines or by its social consequences? The third one is, can any tradition claim finality without suppressing the possibility of further inquiry? Four, is faith strengthened or weakened when subjected to critical scrutiny? So my argument, therefore, is based on a case study which I have taken from two schools of very interesting debating society in Madras Presidency. One is Hindu Free Thought Union. The second one is Madras Secular Society. And this Madras Secular Society had a very radical bilingual newspaper called The Thinker, which survived only for about few years. It started in 1882 and continued its publication in 1888. And this is also available in Prime Minister Museum and Library. And there I find some of the very, very interesting debates. So the core argument I am trying to make here is this: the encounter between Hindu intellectuals and Christian missionaries in colonial India cannot be reduced to a simple confrontation between what we often call tradition and modernity, nor to a contest between competing religious communities. Rather, it constituted a profound philosophical engagement concerning the nature of truth, reason, revelation, morality, and historical consciousness. What emerges is not merely a dispute over doctrines, but a sustained interrogation of the very grounds upon which religious knowledge could claim legitimacy. I'll just give you one particular debate. I wanted to share 5 debates, but I'll just, due to paucity of time, I'll just take few minutes.
Thank you.
And I think you might also find it interesting. One of the ways that I would like to understand these encounters, what I would call the great debate between the Hindu intellectuals and the Christian missionaries, most of them are West. So I think one of the ways to understand these encounters is not as missionaries attacking Hinduism. Of course they did. If you read Gandhi's Hinduism and the missionaries, you will find that how they were able to attack Hinduism. And Hindus defending it. Rather, we should also see it as a clash between two different theories of truth. On the one side, Christian missionaries generally argued truth is revealed by God in history. On the contrary, Hindu intellectuals often argued truth is discovered through reason and spiritual realization. And when I say these missionaries, we also find the 18th century missionary, the first one, Protestant by its denomination, Ziegenbalg, William Kane from Bengal, Alexander Duff, a Dutchman, and the Hindu intellectuals I refer here, including Ramamohan Roy, Dayananda Saraswati, and Swami Vivekananda. The first important discussion that I find it very interesting and useful for my own understanding of what exactly religion is all about. The fact is, being a Christian doesn't mean that you have to defend your religion irrationally. I always admire the fact that you have to be critical about your own religion as well. The missionary argument goes like this, I quote, "If God is one, why worship hundreds of gods? A stone statue cannot hear prayers. A metal imagine cannot create the universe. Rational religion must worship the Creator, not created objects." Now the Hindu intellectual, they have their own way of responding to the missionary criticism. I quote, "You misunderstand what image worship means. When you salute a flag, are you worshipping cloth? No, the flag represents a nation. Similarly, the image is a symbolic focus for the mind. The devotee does not believe the stone itself created the universe." And the missionary refutes. The missionary rebuttal is, yes, ordinary worshippers often treat the image as literally sacred. Does not symbolism easily become superstition? Question mark. And the Hindu rebuttal. Every religion uses symbols. A cross is a wood, a Bible is paper, a church is stone. Yet Christians treat them with reverence because they point beyond themselves. The issue is not whether symbols exist, it is how they are understood. But the advantage of this particular debate is, as scholars would argue, it goes in defense of Hindu intellectuals. The missionary critique is powerful against crude idol worship, but weaker against sophisticated philosophical defense. The first and the only dialogue that I would like to give you, the dialogue between Ziegenbalg, this is a German missionary, and a Brahmin Pandit in Tamil Nadu. This took place on 6th March 1707. On religious matters begins with the concept of belief in one God. It concludes with the importance of believing in Jesus Christ. The dialogue runs as follows. Ziegenbalg starts. "Do you believe in only one God?" Brahmin. "Yes, I believe in the only one God who has incarnated not only as Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, but also into many other visible and invisible beings. Through these beings, I worship the one and only God." Ziegenbalg, missionary. "How do you know who the true God among the multiplicity of deities? You narrate contrary stories about each deity. Trust in one God of the Bible and be saved." Brahmin. "Our religion is the oldest on earth. Many pious kings followed it. Several sages followed it. Therefore, I followed it." Missionary. "Antiquity of the thing cannot prove its true nature because Satan, Shaitan, and sin are also old. The God revealed in the Bible has been trying to reach you. This is the right time for you to respond to him." Brahmin.
This is the right time for me to remind you.
"Nothing happens without the will of permission of God." And missionary, people who do not accept Christ as their God are heathens. Once all Europeans were blind heathens. After they became Christians, they gave up heathenism. Brahmin. "God has revealed himself among you, white Europeans, in a particular way. However, among us, the black Tamil people, the same God revealed themselves differently. I conclude here. So the point which I am trying to make is, at a deeper level, the significance of this encounter lies not in determining which side prevailed, but in the intellectual space that is open. Each tradition was compelled to justify its assumptions before a critical audience. Concepts that had long been treated as self-evident became objects of philosophical reflections. Arguments were formulated, doctrines were interpreted, and inherited certainties were subjected to unprecedented scrutiny. The debate thus became a laboratory for examining some of the most enduring questions of human existence. Namaste.
This is superb, and